Brothers and sisters, are you tired of reading the Holy Scripture and not really understanding what you read? And if you're reasonably sure, have you ever tested that what you feel you know with someone that has a different view than your own? Then let's talk with one another. Then let's reason with one another on a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man every Wednesday at 9 p.m., Friday at 9 p.m., and Sunday at 12 noon. On WHPR TV Detroit Live, 88.1 FM WHPR. Why don't you call and discuss the Holy Bible, and if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and their true meaning? You can call in live on the air at area code 313-868-4336, 313-868-0342, or 313-868-0351. That's 313-868-4336, 313-868-0342, or 313-868-0351. And now, let's go live with a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man.
The truthful and the most just. I greet all of you once again who have the hunger and thirst for Allah's righteousness. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. May Allah's salam alaikum. I want to say that we are very pleased that we are able to keep our word on what we say we want to do. I had heard so much about this brother from different sources, and what he's been doing in the city and the county, and I think that one of our biggest shortcomings is that we don't recognize those who help us generally until they're not there no more. And it's time for us to start acknowledging, and not only that, seeing what we can do to aid those who are trying to do something for us. And I have a guest this evening, matter of fact, two guests, Mr. Attorney Eric R. Sabri and his assistant Beverlyn Hilton. And I wanted to interview them, and they have graciously accepted our invitation to do this. And I'm going to give you a brief history of this brother. Attorney Sabri has been Wayne County Treasurer since April 2016. He works on behalf of 43 municipalities and is responsible for the receipt, custody, investment, and disbursement of all county funds, with a special emphasis on the collection of delinquent property taxes. As treasurer, Attorney Sabri is the chairman of the Wayne County Land Bank and a member of the Wayne County Election Commission. Prior to being appointed and then elected treasurer, Attorney Sabri served Wayne County as deputy treasurer and chief deputy treasurer in the treasurer's office and chief assistant corporation counsel. Before joining the county, Attorney Sabri managed his own law practice and had a long public service career with the city of Detroit. After receiving his undergraduate degree from Michigan State University, Attorney Sabri graduated from the Detroit College of Law. He is licensed to practice law in the state of Michigan, the U.S. District Court, Eastern District of Michigan, and the Supreme Court of the United States. During his 3-year tenure as treasurer, property tax foreclosures have been reduced by 85%. 40 payment kiosks have been installed in 16 different cities, making it easier for taxpayers to pay 99,400 transactions in 2018. And I'll read that number again. You know, this is what those kiosks did. 99,400 payments that was made easier to make to keep people in their property and that kind of thing. And text message alerts are sent monthly to over 30,000 taxpayers, reminding them of their payment plan due dates. Attorney Eric Sabree is a past president of Kiwanis Club Number 1, Detroit, where he has been active for 27 years, serving the needs of children. He currently serves as vice president of the club's foundation board. Attorney Sabree is married to his wife, Badria, and they have 3 adult children, and they also have 3 grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And we want to welcome Attorney Sabree, the Wayne County Treasurer.
Thank you very much. Thank you for such a generous introduction. And I also want to mention that Ms. Beverlyn Hilton, who is our outreach director for the office, is with us today, too, as well, as you mentioned earlier.
Yes. And Ms. Hilton.
Well, thank you for having us here tonight, and I certainly hope that we will have an opportunity to share with the community all the programs and services and the great things that our treasurer, Eric Sabree, has done for this Wayne County community.
Well, I heard a lot about you from one of the sisters that we've been knowing for years, mm-hmm. And she's often came on and told us about things that people could do to get property. The city don't want to take people's property; they just want their property taxes. And you've been very instrumental in helping people to do a lot of things to not only save their property, but to programs and things mm-hmm. that you have set in motion that a lot of people don't even know about.
Correct.
Who would have known that you was behind those kiosks in the putting those things up in the city? So, you know, I want you to feel free to just share. This is not bragging, but when you're a public servant, the public don't know what you doing. They trust you to be in there doing something to help them, and so you should come out on broadcasts like this, and from time to time, I would say at least once a month, if not more, and just update them. And you feel free to use this broadcast to do that.
Thank you very much. I wanted to. Can I get started now?
Yes.
All right.
By all means.
First thing I want to talk about is the staff that we have. We have about 90 people in our office, and many of them are veterans, been there many years, but there's some that are new employees. Okay. They're hard-working employees.
Yes.
And many of them haven't had a lot of raises, small increases in pay over the years, but they're very dedicated and they're hardworking.
These are veterans.
These are. When I say veterans, I don't really mean military veterans.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like long-term, long-serving employees. They've been there a long time.
Yes.
And even the new employees, they're dedicated people. They work hard trying to help the public.
Yes.
So any of this that people say that I've been able to do, I wouldn't be able to do without them. Yes. Because they're the really backbone of the office, especially the cashiers and the people who work on our call center, because they're on the front lines. Yes. They're the ones that deal with the public every day. We have almost 500 people a day come to our office. Okay. We average 500 plus people a day in our office. So it's a lot of, it doesn't seem like a lot of people because they come in over time all day long. Yes. But when you look at the transactions and you look at the numbers, which the numbers don't lie,
yes, sir.
we average over 500 people a day in our office. Some days we have 2,000 people a day. Some days we have 300, but we average about 500 over. So dealing with the public is big. And then we have phone calls. You know, people come to us, they're not happy.
Yes,
They're not in a happy mood.
that's right.
They don't want, first of all, they're thinking about the money they got to spend. They're worried about the house. They might lose their house or their business. And then they have all the other problems that they already have. They have nothing to do with us. But they come in with all the problems that they haven't. So we have a big job to try to help them. And it's not just giving them information. Sometimes it's how you give the information and how you approach the people. Because, like I said, a lot of them come, they're already mad. They had to pay $20 to park, or they got a parking ticket, or, you know, they're already upset. Some of them are out of work. Some of them had an argument with their spouse before they got there, or their children. And so they come with all the issues that everybody has. And so part of our job is not just to collect money or to give out information, but it's also to
Wraparound services.
and the wraparound services is a good way of putting it, and to think of people as people, human beings, that we got to look at. Everybody's a human being, and so you need to be careful how you address them and how you talk to them, even when they mistreat us, because they do that sometimes too. But
you know it's
we
their-
know
They're hurt.
we know that it's their hurt talking, and we know that if they weren't in the situation, they probably wouldn't be happy. This wouldn't be going on. Things would be better for them. So that's part of the job too, and that comes with training, staff, and we have some beautiful things that happen. We had a story I'll tell you real quick.
You
The
ain't got to.
not a rush. Okay.
Go ahead.
There's a lady came in our office a few weeks ago, 96 years old, in a wheelchair. Her caregiver pushed her in, brought her in, and she was asking about her situation at home, about her taxes. She said someone, I think, saw her property on the auction. One of her family members said, "You better go down and check on, see what's going on with your property." I don't know why they didn't come and check for her, but she came down. And she asked, we found the property is foreclosed. Matter of fact, it is in the auction. So she said, "Oh my goodness, I don't have nowhere to go." She started crying. She said, "Yeah, I've been in the hospital. My daughter died in a fire last year, and I don't have anywhere to go. I'll be on the street. I don't have nothing to do. I don't know what to do." So we said, look, let's see what we can do to help you. And while we were doing all of this, the cashier, she starts crying, and the lady's crying. So there's a man in the window next to her paying his taxes. He hear all this commotion going on, so he came over to her and said, how much do you need to pay your taxes? She said, $5,000. He said, you know, I can't take this. I'm going to the bank. I'm gonna get the money. I'll be right back. So he came back with a cashier's check to pay all of her taxes and paid him. But he had too much money. He had about $60 too much because the interest was calculated for the next month. So they said, well, we have to give you a refund because we can't just give you the cash, the difference. So he said, just give it to the lady. Just give her the refund. He said, I don't want the money. So we have things like this that happen. So it kind of gives you an idea that there's some good people out here still. They call him the angel, walking angel.
Yes, sir.
He's a business person in the city. He said, I made a lot of money in the city. I'm giving it back.
Do you happen to remember his name?
Michael Evans.
Mr.
Michael Evans. Sure. He had a lot of coverage. City Council gave him a Spirit of Detroit award. They said, this is the real spirit of Detroit,
Yes.
helping people.
Yes.
So those kind of things happen. This is inspirational in the office. People see it. And the cashier is working with the lady. We were going to help her anyway, but we couldn't pay the $5,000.
Yes.
We might just take her out of foreclosure,
Yes.
which we do. We do help a lot of people like that. Veterans. You know, I've helped veterans and some seniors get out of foreclosure. And I read in the paper, say, oh, he has too much discretion. He's picking and choosing who he want to help and all this. But, you know, I'll say this. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to help a vet. If I see a veteran or senior, somebody who you have to have some discretion. You have to have ability to help somebody in that situation. Because look, after all, we're gonna get the money eventually.
Yes, sir.
We always usually get the money. If somebody owes a few $1,000s and they're working with us, we're going to help them.
Yes.
And because they're paying over time. And when we started payment plans, monthly payment plans, when I got to the Treasurer's office in 2011, they were doing payment plans for, I think, Terrence Keith, who's now a probate judge. He was the chief deputy. And they were doing payment plans like every 6 months, every 3 months. Then one of the things I encouraged the treasurer to do is go to monthly payment plans, because people budget monthly. They get their checks monthly. They're on a monthly schedule usually. So if you do it monthly, you probably would get more money. People will pay, less foreclosures. So the payment plans grew from a couple thousand to now at 34,000. 34,000 people in payment plans. And again, it gets criticism. Well, you're going to get criticism no matter what you do. But they say, well, you know, you just taking the people and prolonging the inevitable. Eventually, they're going to lose it anyway. You know, you just prolonging the inevitable. And so, you know, in other words, it's not working. But it is working. And I'm going to tell you why it's working, because the people are still in their house.
Yes.
That's one reason it's working. And we're still collecting money.
Yes.
Right.
We're collecting money. You know what? Our collections are so good. When we borrow money, every year, when the cities and townships don't collect their taxes, March 1st, they turn over the debt to the treasurer, to Wayne County Treasurer. So we do then, we go out and borrow this money and give it to all the cities and townships.
Yes, sir.
And we pay interest, you know, on the money. I think this year we got a beautiful rate, around less than 3%, which was, we borrowed, you know, we are at the RFP, we out and compete for the banks, and people compete to buy these notes. So I think we got it came out to about 2.86% or something like that.
Okay.
So it's a good rate, very good rate. $148 million we borrowed at that rate. Paid the cities all their money. Then we have to go out and collect the money. So our collections are so good. We pay our debts on weekly. Now, who pays debts weekly? We pay the debts weekly. We say every Tuesday we send a check to the trustee, paying off these notes. And we always pay the notes off, since I've been there, 6 months in advance.
Yes.
6 months in advance, we're paid up. Sometimes we refinance the note if we get a better rate and save the county a couple $100,000 at the same time. So a lot of these things are going on. Like I say, people don't know.
And you don't forget, that makes Wayne County a better risk.
Yes.
Which you can go and just call up and say, we need this, and you ain't got to jump through no hoops. They give you the money.
Right. And so,
You see.
right. So all of this, when we signed for these notes, we pledged to collect this money. So we can't just let people go without paying. First of all, it's
That's
against
right.
the state law.
That's right.
And it's against the pledges we make to borrow this money. Who's going to loan you money if they think you're not going to collect your debt? Not going
That's
to
right.
collect the money.
That's right.
Nobody's going to loan you any money.
That's right.
So we collect the money, even though we're on payment plans. They, as part of the lending analysis, the underwriting, they look at the payment plans, our history of collections, our history of payments. That's why our office has an A1 rating, an SP1 rating.
Yes, sir.
So for the Treasurer's office, the county's rating is improving too. The overall county, its ratings have gone up. Moody's had give us a bump up last week in the ratings. But our ratings, we have an SP1 rating because we pay our debts back so fast, and we pay it weekly. So
Yes, sir.
when people pay, we have to send money off to pay the debt back that they borrowed. So all of this is going on, and the people who are paying these monthly payments, that we're collecting the money and letting them stay in the property. It's better than if you foreclose on the property, then they lose the property, somebody buys it, it's an investor, they buy it, they want to rent it to the people, rent it back to them, or sell it back to them, or sometimes they do nothing with the property, just holding it, trying to wait for things to get better, and then they make more money off of it. So a complicated situation sometimes. People say, why you have an auction? Well, you have to have an auction because the state law says you have to have an auction. If you can't keep the people out of foreclosure, you have to auction the property. So we auction the properties. This year we had our first auction in September. We had about 3,000 properties in there. About 600 of them are occupied. The occupied properties, our goal is 0 owner occupied. So out of the 600, there's about 280 of them are owner occupied. But the others were tenant occupied. So those are the ones that we really want to focus on getting down. And our efforts have worked. We like 85% reduction in 3 years. And we reduced it this year about 320.
This is the foreclosures.
Foreclosures, yes, foreclosures. And the numbers of foreclosures. So our numbers going into auction are less, much less. 2015 was 28,000 properties foreclosed. This year, 3,855. That's the difference between 2015 and now. So we're making progress, but as closer you get to 0, the more difficult it becomes.
Yes, sir.
We're running. We have one big push we want to make. We've been making for the last couple of years, and we've been joining in with nonprofits and everybody. It's those people who are eligible for exemptions. I'm going to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
Exemptions means that you don't have to pay taxes.
Right.
Either a full exemption, which means 100% exempt, or a 50% exemption. Every city and township is different about what the amount is. So you have to check with your assessor's office, wherever you live. In the city of Detroit, that's room 804 in the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center.
Yes, sir.
Go and find out if you're eligible for an exemption. It's only based on income. It's only based on income. So it doesn't matter how old you are, but because state law would have to change for that to happen.
In Mississippi, it's,
In
it's your
Mississippi,
age.
yeah, in Mississippi and in Georgia too.
Yeah, when
'Cause
you
my-
get 65, I think it's 65. If your house and stuff, you don't have no taxes to pay on.
Wow.
In Georgia, it's reduced. And then my aunt lives in Atlanta, so she told me, she said, when she became 75, 65 it was reduced. Again, 75 it got reduced again. So in the other states, it's a lot different.
One thing, I know they listening in Mississippi too.
Okay.
So, if I gave that wrong, y'all correct me. But I was told that after you get 65, you don't have to pay the property tax as long as you live on that property. When your heirs get it, then it goes
It
back.
changes.
I believe it's true because I know there's several southern states. Georgia, I know, is one. And you mentioned Mississippi too.
Yes.
And it makes sense.
Yes, sir.
It makes sense. But they're reluctant to do that here, and I'll tell you why. They're reluctant to do it because the local communities know that the seniors are the ones that pay. They're the ones that are paying the taxes. So they would say, well, that would just really take a lot of courage.
Put it right back up there where you got a foreclose.
That would take a lot of courage to do that because you're cutting really into the revenue
Yes, sir.
of the local communities.
Yes, sir.
If you say if you're 65 or 75, you don't have to pay property taxes. that would be. I don't think that'll ever pass in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, if it's based on your income here, the only other exemption that we have in the state of Michigan is if you're a 100% disabled veteran.
Okay.
If you're a 100% disabled veteran, you can apply for exemption. You'd be exempt from property taxes. So just getting the word out for that is important. That's one of the things because whatever happens, we don't want to see someone lose their property if, in fact, they shouldn't have been paying taxes at all
Right.
in the first place.
That's right.
And there's an effort right now, too, to address some of the people who are eligible for an exemption today and had back taxes from previous years, trying to work out a plan either through the legislature or other means to address those where they could pay it off over a long period of time, or they could get it removed through the state
Or
law.
forgiveness. Yes.
Because of the fact that they had some previous years that they owed, and they would have been eligible for an exemption at that time, but they either didn't know or for whatever reason. But that has to be done through the legislature, and there's some other efforts to try to address that too. So this gets the most vulnerable individuals, the most poverty-stricken individuals out of the property tax system,
Yes.
which the law allows it. So that's what it should be. Those individuals shouldn't be. If they shouldn't be paying taxes, then they should be get out of the system and allow them to get the exemption.
Yes.
But you have to apply for it, and you have to do it. I think right now you have to apply every year, but they made it a little easier for individuals who are seniors. If you apply for exemption, you just have to check a box, check a couple forms, sign your name, and send it in. It's not as cumbersome as it used to be in the city of Detroit anyway. And that's one of the things we're working on. The other thing is I want to talk about is the kiosks and our text messaging.
Yes, sir.
The kiosks have made it easier for people to pay because they're located in so many convenient places. The Northwest Activity Center, I think there's a couple on the east side. There's 60 of them now. So we have in grocery stores, drug stores, and the owners of the businesses, they like it because it's at the Samaritan Center on the east side. That's what I was trying to think of. They like it because it brings customers into the business.
Yes.
And especially new customers. People know they can pay their water bill, they can pay the DTE, the utility bill, they can pay the taxes, current taxes and delinquent taxes.
Right there at the kiosk.
And at the kiosk, and they can pay their traffic tickets.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, court tickets.
That's
So
all right.
all that can be done.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had like over 100,000 transactions this year. A lot of money too. We collect over $30 million.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
that's money that's collected while office is closed.
Okay.
And we also have the online payments have increased to actually where we receive most of the money through online payments now.
Very good.
And some people still like to come down and see us, get the receipt in their hand. They want to ask questions, and they just like to do that. So we're always happy to see them. But
And always trying to make
Always
it
trying to
easier.
make it easier for the-
accessible.
one of the things that we're working on now is to be able to get it, people can enter into payment plans without coming into the office. They can do it online. That's what we're working on that now. Because some people, they understand, they don't have to ask any questions, they understand it, they just want to enter into agreement. So if that's the case, they should be able to go online and do it. They shouldn't have to come down, get in the park, come upstairs, and then go into a payment agreement. You can go online, make your payment, sign it, send it in, and be done with it.
Yes.
So we're working on that as one of our new initiatives. And also our phone system, we're getting a different phone system to improve our customer service.
Yes, sir.
One of the other things that we did recently is we have a Detroit Financial Empowerment Center located on our floor, on the 5th floor. Two offices, full-time counselors. They work Monday and Wednesday. Monday from 8 to 4:30, and Wednesday from 8 to 6:30. And what they do one-on-one counseling, financial literacy counseling. And they have a wraparound
Just people
service.
walk off the street and just
people walk
come
off the
on.
street, come up
Amen.
5th floor, whether you have a tax problem or not. You can come in. I need to talk to someone at my budget, help me budgeting and help, with maybe I can get a grant for my water bill. Maybe I can get some help with my utility, my gas and electric. Maybe I need a job. Maybe I need some mental health services for myself or somebody in the family. You never know. So these services are all available at one place. And we're partnered with the City of Detroit, with Wayne Metro Agency. They have the counselors. And then Chase, J.P. Morgan Chase
Okay.
Bank, and also the Bloomberg Foundation and Skillman Foundation all contributed money for a 2-year project. There's only 22 in the United States, and we're one of them. And they're going to open up hopefully 6 in the whole city of Detroit, so that people can go get individual counseling, work on budgeting, not just budgeting, but also how to prioritize.
Yes.
And I guess that is budgeting.
Managing.
So that they can say, well, look, if I can
Credit score.
get credit score improvement, that's a good thing
Yes.
too, Beverly. Yeah. And what else? We were going to talk about the text messages, right?
Yes.
See, Beverly goes out to all these meetings. She goes to the evening meetings, community meetings, the block club meeting, the police precinct meetings, all of that. With
You want to share something?
Sure. You
Sure,
wanna
I'd
share a
be more
little
than
bit?
happy to. I think that's the most exciting part for me. We have an opportunity, and I call it Eric's 3 E's: educate, engage, and empower the community. And we do that by going to the community meetings, whether they invite us. We'll go and set up an information table. We have representatives with us that can look up their taxes, see if they're in trouble or not. But the most important thing is for them to contact our office and let us know if they're in trouble so that we can assist them with their taxes. The number that they can, or email they can contact us at is wctocommunity@waynecounty.com. That's the number that if they would like for us to come out to their community event, to their community meeting. It can be a church, it can be a block club, or we call them conversation with the treasurer. Even if someone in their home has a group of community folks that they would like to have the treasurer come out and talk to them. And one thing I really enjoy working in the treasurer's office is that he's engaged. He actually will go out in the community, go to the meetings. We've gone door to door for those homes that were in foreclosure. We work very closely with all of the communities, especially those that have a high foreclosure rate. So it makes my job easy with all the programs and services that we have available to educate the community on. So
Give that website again.
sure, the website is wctocommunity@waynecounty.com. And the phone number is 313-224-2864.
Again.
313-224-2864 is the phone number that they can call.
That's the auction number.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
Mr.
the auction
Treasurer.
phone number, right.
Right.
The main number, let's text 313-224-5990.
Sorry about that.
313-224-5990. Now, the number you gave out, let's talk about the auction.
Good.
What's that number for the auction again?
313-224-2864.
All right, 2864. This is
That's all right.
We have an auction every year. We have an auction in September and October.
Okay.
The first
Oh, here it
auction,
is.
we just completed our first auction, and the difference is in the first auction, the minimum bid is all the taxes that are owed,
Yes.
all years back taxes. That's the minimum bid. And the second auction, whatever doesn't sell in the first auction goes into a second auction, and the minimum bid is only $500.
All right, so you start there, and hopefully, at least you stop there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$500 is the first bid. So, but before that auction happens, there's a lot of things that happen to these properties. Because people always ask. There's a couple questions that I get almost every day. If I'm out in the hallway or in the street talking to people, and they ask me questions, I always ask two things. Oh, wait, three questions. I'll say three. One, can you forgive interest and penalties? They would say, can I? Because if you owe $100,000 in back taxes, that's an extreme example. Then they say, well, about 30,000 of that is interest. Say, can't you? If you will wipe out the interest, I'll pay the 70,000 today. Can you get rid of interest? The answer is no.
Right.
You can't do it. It's statutory, and it also, like I said, when we pledge to pay back the notes, all that's included, and we're collecting interest and penalties too. So you can't get rid of interest and penalties unless there was an error or something, and we're reducing it because of that. That's the only way it will be reduced.
It's something that I want to bounce off of you, considering what they do in Mississippi.
Okay.
Every year they have what you call the tax sale. If someone didn't pay, it has happened to me before. When I got behind,
Yes.
someone paid the taxes, and I had to. And, they didn't take the property, but as long as they keep paying those taxes, if you want your property back, you got to reimburse them.
That's what they
And
have.
that way,
That's in Chicago.
the-
It's like
the
that in
city-
Most
Chicago.
states, 35
Don't lose
states,
their money.
35 states are like that.
Okay.
Michigan used to be like that.
Okay.
It's called tax lien sale.
What happened?
Tax lien sale.
Yes, that's it.
Tax liens.
Yes. Mhm.
So there's 35 states still do tax lien sales.
Why did they change?
1999, state of Michigan changed to what we do now. We take title to the property. It's the difference. We take title to the property and then sell it in an auction. So that's the difference. So it was, I guess, an experiment. It's a 20-year experiment. They might go back, change the law again. You never
They ought to
know.
go back to that. That way,
Never
the
know.
city steady gets their money.
But another
You
thing
know,
with that
yeah.
tax lien system, less people lose their properties because
Yeah.
they have a time period to go back to get the money.
Yeah,
and pay it
that's
back.
what I did.
You have time to go back. You
can
just
go
have
get
to pay
your tax.
You have to pay them a penalty.
Yes.
So that the person that bought the taxes makes a little profit
Yes.
A lot.
off of of it.
Yes.
You see a lot of profit.
Right. They made a lot off of it.
So
In
they make-
Chicago, when I a lot
So
of profit.
they make the money, and the government gets its taxes, and the person that bought the lien, they can make some money.
Yes.
But you can get your property back.
Yes, you
Yeah.
keep your property.
Usually, people will get their property back because they
Yes.
have the time to
Yes.
gather the money. Where unlike this system
That's
that we
right.
have, once it gets foreclosed, you don't have any more time to get it back. You have 3 years from the time it becomes delinquent before you lose it. But once you lose it, the title is in the treasurer's office.
So you don't have no discretion to do it that way. That's the
No,
law.
that's the law. It
makes you
changed.
do it the way you do it.
It
now.
changed
Right.
in
I see.
1999.
I see.
And like I said, I guess it's call it an experiment, and we'll see what happens. The legislature can change it next year if they
Yes,
want
sir.
to.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
actually, there's a movement right now. I'm gonna mention. I start off talking about 3 questions people always ask me.
Hmm.
Can you get rid of interest and penalties? Interest is no. They ask me, how can I buy properties before the auction? I'll talk about that. And the other thing they ask me is, why can't people who live in the city or the county bid first, have first right to the property? Because they may have been cutting the grass on this lot for the last 3 or 4 years, boarding up this house, keeping it looking halfway decent,
Mhm.
and now it goes up for a foreclosure sale, and somebody from China buys it because it's an internet sale. It's a worldwide auction. Anybody can participate.
Yes, sir.
So somebody from China buys the house or the lot. So the people are upset now. They're upset with me because they said, look, I've been cutting the grass, keeping the property nice, and then it comes up for auction. I should be the first one to get a chance to get it.
hmm
And I agree with them, actually. I agree with them, but it has to change. The law has to change. That's all. I said, get your state legislatures, get them to work, and get some bills introduced, and I will support it. And that's what has to
How
happen.
does the word get out that the auction is going on? Or do people just have to?
Well, we advertise a little bit, not like we used to,
Mhm.
but the people who are involved in the auction, they know. People who know, everybody knows about the auction.
Yeah, they
The people who
keep
come in
ear
our
to the
office,
ground.
we have literature there,
Mhm.
and then
Website.
it was on our website, and it gets community churches, community meetings. They all know what's happening. We don't spend as much money advertising like we used to,
Yes, sir.
but it's actually what's happening in the auction. We've been doing well, very well. We didn't advertise it at all last year, and we had record sales in the sense that last year was the first year that the county actually made more money off the auction than was owed by the taxes.
hmm
The first time.
Okay.
And as long as I look back to 2007, and before then I didn't go back any further, but the county never made more money than it was owed. Usually we come up short.
Mhm.
Like if it's owed $10 million, we only make $8 million.
hmm
But last year we made more money than was owed. This year it'll probably
And
be
what
the
happens
same.
to that?
That money gets distributed, all auction proceed money gets distributed to the taxing jurisdictions in the county.
Okay.
In the schools, districts, Wayne County RESA Educational Center, the library, community college. The county gets the money, the jails, parks, everybody that gets a piece of that money when you pay your regular taxes,
Mhm.
those are the same ones that get the money from the auction proceeds. So it doesn't, and that kind of leads me into the next thing about there's a big movement to take the excess proceeds from the auctions and turn them back to the former owner.
That's what I was about to ask you.
Yeah, I wanna-
Why can't the people who pay the taxes get that benefit?
I want to explain it to you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of public sentiment in favor of doing that.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. I'll give you a couple of examples, real examples. In Oakland County, they foreclosed on someone for $8.
For what?
$8. And
$8.
the property went to foreclosure, It wasn't a home owner occupied. It was just a building. I'm not sure if it was a home that was vacant or whatever it was, but it wasn't occupied.
I saw it.
It was $8,
Okay.
but they sold it for 30 or 40,000.
Okay.
Okay, so the person who lost it, they filed a lawsuit, and it's in the Supreme Court right now. It's going to be oral arguments will be heard November 7th in the Michigan Supreme Court, and the argument is by the former owner, says that you stole my equity because you should just get the taxes and your expenses for the auction. The rest should come back to me. Okay, that's our now. And in Wayne County, we had a case where someone was living in New Jersey. They bought a property, like a 2-family or 3-family, 4-family. I forgot what it was, but they were fixing it up, and they missed the notice, didn't pay the taxes. They sued us because they said they didn't get proper notice, but then we proved it. They did get proper notice, so they lost that. But then now they're suing us because we took the property. They owe it was only $500 and some dollars. It foreclosed. It was $500. A lot of times we find those properties and we pull them out. Like this year, we pull a lot of properties out like that.
Yes, sir.
But because we can get the money, if it's under $1,000, we will collect the money.
Yes, sir.
So we pull them out. But we didn't get this one for whatever reason. It went to foreclosure. We sold it for $108,000. Okay? So they sued us. It's in court right now. That's all I can talk about it, just tell you the facts.
Yes, sir.
And they say their argument is, that's my equity. You stole my equity, because you should get the taxes plus your expenses. The rest of the money should come back to me. So this is also a possibility of a bill being introduced in the legislature this year. So once they get past the budget, there's a couple of people that want to introduce some legislation, which will just make the lawsuits moot, They say they want to change the law so that when this happens, the money goes back to the person. Okay, now, if that happens, we could lose in court. If that happens, the result will be that all that money that goes to these, we had last 4 years, $138 million was distributed to all the taxing jurisdictions from the auction proceeds. All that money will cease that will go back to the former owners. The treasurers, county treasurers, will become basically real estate brokers for somebody that loses their property.
Well, in that case, the law should read, like most real estate agents, they get a percentage of what it sells for. And so if the county got to sell it, it's only just that the county gets some percentage.
Well, they're willing to give us our expenses. They're willing to give us expenses.
No, I'm not just talking about expenses.
I'm
I'm talking about if you're going to make a real estate agent out of the county, justice dictates that you give them real estate rates. Because the simplest thing is to just go pay your taxes.
Well, the better.
Yeah.
The better. I see what you're saying. It makes sense. But I don't like it, of course. I don't like that because I'm not in favor of it at all.
I hear you.
But the legislation would be better for us than if we lose the lawsuit. And I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because the legislation is only addressing owner-occupied properties.
I see.
The lawsuit's addressing all properties.
I see.
So if owner-occupied person lose their property, they say this is the only time this would apply.
Yes.
If homeowner living in their home, they would get the money back. But if you lose your factory or you lose your grocery store and it sells, they won't apply to you. That's what the legislation is looking like.
I understand that.
But the lawsuit doesn't distinguish. So we just have to wait and see. But I just want you to know that the money doesn't just go to the general fund of the county.
Right.
It's distributed throughout
Equally
proportionally to all the jurisdictions, the school districts, and the libraries, and the parks, the community colleges, everything. For example, Wayne County Community College last year got about $525,000 from auction proceeds. The library got $600 and some thousand from auction proceeds. City of Detroit got a few $1 million from auction proceeds. So this will be a big deal if this changes. It will change the whole way that forfeiture and foreclosure occurs in the state of Michigan. And a lot of counties, including Wayne County, may decide, because we have the option to let the state do it all. We could say, well, you know what, if we have to be the broker for these people, then let the state do it. Because it says an option that the county can opt in or opt out. The state can take over the forfeiture foreclosure. So this is a very big case, and both cases are very big. They could change the whole way forfeiture and foreclosure activities occur in the state of Michigan. So we're just waiting to see what happens, and I just have no idea what is going to happen. But whatever happens, we just have to deal with
Just
it.
roll with it. Do you have time to take some questions?
I have time.
A few from the.
Sure.
If there's someone viewing that want to call in, the numbers are 868-0351, 868-0342, 868-4336, and we are here with Attorney Eric Sabree, to the Wayne County Commissioner.
Treasurer.
Pardon me. I'm so used to saying commissioner, but the Wayne County Treasurer, and he has graciously accepted our invitation to come in and talk to you. And in the meantime, if no one is actually calling, you can start telling them now whatever you think they could do to make your job more efficient for you, to be able to help them.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
I would like, before I do that, I want to give Ms. Hilton an opportunity to talk about our Veterans Resource Fair.
Okay.
It's that's our third annual Veterans Resource Fair, and we always want to honor and respect our veterans.
Okay.
We have people who've gone out and sacrificed, defended our country and the country that we enjoy the freedoms in. Some of them lost their lives, and some of them come back injured, and injured that we can't see. Some injuries we can't see.
Yes, sir.
And so we want to always do what we can to help and support our veterans. So Ms. Hilton has been working very hard this year on our
we have.
Resource Fair. Tell them about the Resource Fair.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. The Resource Fair is going to be on Thursday, November 21st, from 10 to 2 at Bellagio Banquet and Conference Center, 23900 West Warren in Dearborn Heights. Each year we have this event. We rotate either in the city of Detroit or one of the communities outside of the city. So we are extending this invitation to all veterans, your spouses, your children. We have over 31 vendors that are providing all kinds of services that benefit veterans and their families. So we'd like for you to come out. We also have Congresswoman Debbie Dingell and Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib as our honorary co-chairs. They serve those communities and those veterans in that community. And we have a special invited guest, Sergeant Major Ronald L. Green from Washington, D.C., so we're hopeful that he can come as well. And Mr. Sabree, Treasurer Sabree, will tell you a little bit about Major Green.
Sergeant Major Green.
Sergeant Major Green. But before he does that, please, we need all the veterans in the Wayne County area to come out. Actually, anyone that's a veteran can come out, because the programs and services that will be available will be extended to all of the veterans.
We have VA hospitals there.
Healthcare, right. Information on healthcare, employment, housing, utility assistance, veteran benefits, much, much more. We have the VA hospital coming. Wayne County Veterans Affairs will be there. Just many, many vendors will be there for the services. I just don't have all of them listed before me. But if you certainly are interested in coming, you can call us at 313-224-5990. I have that number right. And WCTO Community at WayneCounty.com.
Give them that number again.
The phone number again for information is 313-224-5990. And call our office if you're interested in being a vendor, as well as wanting us to email you the information so that you can share it with other veterans organizations and the families.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. One of the things people can do to help help us, is to encourage individuals who are struggling with their taxes to come in and see us. That's the number one thing. Communicate with us.
Yes.
We have a most difficult time communicating with certain people. We have a number of people who they owe very little money, like $1,000, $800. You will have to lose your house. We call you. We send a letter to your house. We knock on your door, text you. Nothing. No response. No response at all. So we just want people to respond, to come see us. Don't be afraid to come see us. What you should be afraid of is not coming to see us and losing your property. Because if we wanted the property, we wouldn't be trying to promote the programs that we have. We would just be quiet. And then people would lose their property. So we're trying hard to get the word out, and we're becoming we become a nuisance to them because we know that it's going to benefit them.
Yes.
And that's what that's how people can help. Encourage people to come down. Ask questions about your family members. You know, the seniors are very private. They don't tell their children what's going on. They say, how's things going, Mom? Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything may not be fine. You need to look and see what's going on with your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, because a lot of
Neighbors.
times they just take the mail, maybe not paying attention, think they paid the taxes already. Some people paying the city taxes instead of paying the county. They're making mistakes. If that happens, we always correct it
Yes.
and make sure that we don't foreclose. If you're paying your 19 taxes and you should have been paying your 16s, we know something's wrong.
Yes, sir.
We know you made a mistake. But a lot of times they don't do anything, and a lot of people losing their memory is bad. Everybody not what they used to be. As you get older, start forgetting things, and so I would say, get involved with the family, get involved with your church members, your community members, block club members. Even if family members, I'll say this: sometimes you just have to just ask questions, even though you know they're going to be upset with you. Like, don't ask me, don't get out of my business, and this and that. You know how some people are, the
Yes, sir.
parents and
Yes, sir.
grandparents. But you have to do it anyway, because it happens every year. People come and see us. Oh, my mother's lost her home. You know, I thought everything was okay. She told me everything was fine. You know, I'm living in Washington, D.C., and I didn't know. You know, I looked up houses in the auction, or, somebody knocked on her door and said, I just bought your house.
Yeah.
See, those kind of things we have to prevent. And we can do that mostly with people being concerned about others.
And invite us out.
And we'll come out. We'll come out anywhere. You see where we are on Friday night?
Yes. I want to say that's a quick hour that we had here.
Wow.
And I want to before we close out, we do need to take a station ID. And then we're going to, I want to have you back.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the invitation. I really enjoyed being here. It was a quick hour.
Yes.
Wow.
And I want to have you back. And whenever even if I don't invite you, you have an open invitation when you have information that you want to share to help the people. Come. We have a caller. Yes. Yes, caller.
Yeah, good evening. I just have a quick question. Rare that we really elected officials that we
They want to know what
help us.
caused the
So what I wanna
housing
know
downturn
is,
in
how do we
Detroit.
help upcoming to keep Mr. Sabri in office? Is that something that's coming up anytime soon?
Oh, okay. Well, y'all, what caused the housing
Downturn. There are no number of reasons. The whole economy in the country, in the world, actually.
Yes, sir.
One of the things happened is there was a lot of properties were overassessed, and people were borrowing money on these overinflated, artificially inflated properties values, and then when they took the money out,
Yes, sir.
and then now the properties really weren't worth what they said they were.
Man,
So
Them assessors,
assessors,
they used to ask you what you want your property to be worth.
so they assess-
I'm just telling you.
that's one of the things
that's
they
what was
did.
happening across the country.
They raised, and then they put these people on these predatory loans. You know, you get in, and then they got a huge balloon payment after a couple of years, and then the interest rate was outrageous.
Yes,
So people started losing their properties. Then there's some people losing their jobs at the same time.
Yes, sir.
So you had 2 household incomes. Now you have 0 household income.
Yes, sir.
That was it. The taxes is always the issue of the assessments
Yes, sir.
were high,
and it makes the taxes high.
it's been litigated, and it's been litigated again and again. And people, after the lawsuit, there was a settlement with the city of Detroit, you know, saying that you all assessed the properties too high, and that kind of prompted the city to have a program where if you lost your home to foreclosure in 2018, 19, and 2020, you can buy it back for $1,000 if you're eligible for an exemption, if your income is low enough, because of this assessment issue. So all of these are high assessments, bad appraisals, and then loss of jobs, and just predatory lending all contributed to this downturn.
Okay. Okay. Break.
WHPR-TV is now on Channel 90. Check out all of your favorite morning talk shows on Comcast Channel 90 every day from 7 a.m. to 12 noon, and watch us anytime, day or night, on all of your favorite devices. Download the WHPR-TV Now app and take us with you wherever you go. WHPR-TV is now on Comcast Channel 90 every day from 7 a.m. till noon. WHPR-TV, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Chabris wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Take the first step towards staying in your home by going down to the Wayne County Treasurer's office on the 5th floor of the International Building in Greektown.
Stop by today to learn more about our payment plans, and especially the newly extended interest rate reduction program.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in Rite Aid stores and community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
Well, we're moving on now to the side. You will see lots of partners in the sky.
Come check out the new Sisters Braid 2 hair braiding and natural hair care salon located at 18070 Mount Elliott Street. Our new salon is spacious with adequate parking, Wi-Fi, and all brand new state-of-the-art salon equipment. Come meet your local hair braiders and natural hair care specialists and check out our many hair care services such as hair treatments, box braids, cornrows, tree braids, Havana twists, children's braids, natural twists, lock extensions, kinky twists, goddess locks, updos, full weaves, and more. Please feel free to visit us on the web at www.sistersbraid2.com or call 313-826-0498. Here at Sisters Braid 2, we offer exceptional care for exceptional hair. We look forward to seeing you. Sisters Braid 2 is a proud recipient of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund.
Renaissance Bowling Center. Safe family fun for all ages. Live entertainment and beverages. And be sure to stop in our pro shop for all your bowling needs. Renaissance Bowling Center, 19600 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48203. Come out and have a ball.
This is the real Campu, keeping all my people unified. Please be sure to download my album, Campu, Birth of a New Nation, and my 2 latest hit singles, My People Rise and Be Good to Us, with voiceover skits, with inspirational poetry, hip-hop, and harmony.
Download your MP3 single copy of My People Rise and Be Good to Us with voiceover skits, or the album Birth of a New Nation, all available on iTunes, Amazon, and other online stores.
Don't forget, Birth of a New Nation by Campu.